This is day 3 of remote learning. I know this can be really hard on all of us, y'all, like learning in this impersonal way. I miss y'all so much. I know that y'all miss each other. Please make sure you're getting outside and spending time with your friends and family so that this does not feel like an isolating time for you. We're going to get into this lesson. The objective for today is students will be able to analyze and compare sources from the Cultural Revolution in Communist China. Now, analyze means to break down, to take all the things that you know about a piece of evidence or text and bring that in to break down what it means and the things that come together to make it. For example, the context. When you give a quote, you can analyze it through the context. Think about what's going on in history at the time. You could also use the purpose or the bias of the author to analyze what they mean and what they're saying. Analysis is not simply giving a quote and saying this shows X. You should break down how is the thing that you're describing. If this shows imperialism, how does this quote show imperialism? How does the historical context affect the message it's sending about imperialism? So, we are going to analyze by comparing sources about the Cultural Revolution. The Cultural Revolution was a time period in communist China when Mao was really trying to push a cultural shift, not just the government shift, a cultural shift amongst the young people in China and a cultural shift amongst like the religious and other big institutions that inform people in their daily lives. Let's get into the right now. As we think about cultural shifts, what is authority play in these cultural shifts? So where our right now is going to be, what are the costs and benefits of challenging authority? Then we're going to get into a mini lesson about what is Mao's Cultural Revolution. We're going to do some source pack evidence incorporation to prepare ourselves to do a CRQ set, which is the graded assignment for this lesson. And then we're going to have a closeout and reflection. Make sure that your 607 notes are pulled up. Now you notice the notes are labeled with slide numbers. As you go through this, you should follow those slide numbers and pause the video to answer the questions. So, for example, we're going into the right now, which is on slide 3. As we get into this right now, you're going to make sure that you write your notes on that slide 3 level. Now, the right now, what are the costs and benefits of challenging authority? What do you lose? What is cost? And what do you gain? What are the benefits from challenging what the higher power says you should do? Take a minute, answer that, get back to me in a second. Now we're moving to slide 4. In our notes, you should be responding, what is the purpose of Mao's Little Red Book? Now, Mao's Little Red Book is a collection of quotations and beliefs that he had and he spread mostly to children that was mandatory reading for them. Now, here's a quote from the Little Red Book. As I read this quote to you, I want you to think, what is the purpose of this collection of quotes? If he's trying to inspire, is that the only purpose, or are there other underlying things? I want you to really break your analysis down by, is it only to inspire? Let's read this quote. The world is yours as well as ours, but in the last analysis, it is yours. You young people, full of vigor and vitality, are in the bloom of life, like the sun at 8 or 9 in the morning. Our hope is placed in you. The world belongs to you. China's future belongs to you. Mao, 1957. Go ahead and pause the video and write down, what do you think the purpose of Mao's Little Red Book is? And what do you think the purpose of quotes like this are for? Write that down. Now, we're about to get into 3 different video clips. This first clip where you will be taking your response, just takeaways from the video. This first clip is going to introduce us to the Chinese Cultural Revolution. It's going to introduce you to folks called the Red Guards and how they rebelled against their teachers and elders. I want you to imagine America now has a new system. And in this new system, your leader says, hey, you can get rid of all the old ideas and thoughts that you were taught in the past. Go into your schools and tear down your teachers. Imagine you could beat up me and Mr. Beaton. Imagine you can go parade us down the street and humiliate us and make us go work on farms because we've taught you lies and falsehoods. What would that mean for you? What would that mean for us? Pause this video, go to the slides and press play on the video on slide 5 and respond to the question. What are your takeaways? See you in a second. All right, here is the next video. We want you to go ahead and play this again. Again, thinking about this cultural revolution, what is it revolutionizing and what is it for? What are your big takeaways about why are they getting rid of religions, religious institutions? Why are the kids reading this little red book? Who are the Red Guards? Are they protecting liberation or are they causing destruction? These are the type of things I want you to think about as you watch this video. Go in your 607 notes. Make sure you're taking a response under slide 6. Go. All right, and this is the last video. This is from a crash course video. Now, again, this video is a secondary source as well, but we really want you to think, what are the big takeaways around the Cultural Revolution? What did we learn about the Red Guards? What did you not get from the last 2 videos about the Red Guards? And again, let's really think about the purpose. What is the purpose of revolutionizing the culture in China? Press play. Get back to me in a second. Now, we want you to go click on this link. This link is for an article, and the title of this article is The Cultural Revolution, All You Need to Know About China's Political Convulsion. Now, you're going to answer these 2 questions, or these 3 questions for step 2. First, I want you to think, based on the title, what do you think the author's point of view is regarding the Cultural Revolution? I think understanding or looking up the definition of political convulsion, or even looking up the word convulsion, will help you get an understanding of the author's point of view. So go ahead and do that. Then we want you to find the line in the article that is the most important line to tell you the point of view of the author. What is the line that is the juiciest, has the most evidence, is the most detailed in describing what happened in China's Cultural Revolution? And finally, we want you to really think, is this source trustworthy? Is there too much bias in the author? Is the author biased, but the information and the evidence is valid? How do you determine if this evidence is trustworthy? Write out your honest thoughts now. Pause and come back to me in a second. Now, our exit ticket for today, this is going to be the graded assignment. Is a CRQ about Mao's Cultural Revolution? You will be reading a document from Mao's quote that we saw at the beginning, and then you will be comparing that document to what we read. Now, make sure that you do this completely and submit it on Google Classroom so that you can get your part engagement for the day and your grade. I will see you all. Oh, actually, let's do a recap. Forgive me. I have to take these things in one take, y'all. So, what we just learned about was Mao's Cultural Revolution. We learned that it was not just a revolution about the government, it was a revolution about people and the way that they think and their lives. It was about the students and them having to read Mao's Little Red Book, which was a collection of his ideas and beliefs. It was a movement to change the way religion was seen in communist China, to get rid of religion, essentially, in communist China, or replace that religion with Marxism and Leninism. We saw 3 different videos that showed some primary images and videos from the Cultural Revolution of students beating up their teachers and tearing down old temples and art that was from before the revolution. We saw a crash course video that summarized what was really going on. We learned about the Red Guard and how they followed people around and made sure that the communist ideals and revolutionary ideals were being taught and were not being talked against in their society. And we really thought about what is the purpose of this cultural revolution? What is the purpose of Mao's Little Red Book? Why do you need something like this? What enduring issues might come up for you thinking about this? I'll see y'all on Monday. Be good to yourselves, or you'll be by yourselves.